A film I recently watched was an animated film. This is a film I've never seen before, and it was Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return. Hyde Park International Summertime Entertainment. I'm reading the back because it's been a little while. So this film is a sort of continuation after Wizard of Oz, starring Judy Garland. The story is actually based on the book Dorothy of Oz, which is by Roger S. Baum, which I believe was L. Frank Baum's grandson, I want to say. Definitely something like that, anyway. And in it, Dorothy is called back to Oz after they potentially lose their farm because of this twister. A man comes and says they got to sign it over to him because it's uninhabitable. Come here at this time. But before any of that happens, she is whisked back to Oz on a rainbow mover. This is something that the Scarecrow has invented and uses to bring her back to Oz. The reason he's brought her back to Oz is because the Wicked Witch of the West's broomstick has been stolen by her brother, the Jester. And in a nod back to Oz, the Wizard of Oz 39 film, the Jester is actually the slimy man who's trying to get all the properties signed over to him. So there's that sort of correlation as well. Dorothy ends up in Oz, but not at the Emerald City where she's supposed to, and has to travel again along the Yellow Brick Road to the Emerald City. This time she goes through Candy Country, where she meets Marshmallow. You're not supposed to eat the candies, so they get into trouble for that. And then on to the China Country, where the China princess, who is looking for a suitor, comes along with them. It is filled with musical numbers. None of them are particularly memorable, but we'll go into that in a minute. When they get to the Emerald City, they find it has been destroyed, and then they end up at the Jester's castle, and Dorothy fights him and in the end beats him. She does try to save his life, but he's having none of it because he still wants to have the broomstick and everything so he can lose. One of the things he did was turn all the leaders of Oz into puppets or marionettes, including Glinda. Now, the songs. There is nothing really memorable in here. The best song to me is the one, and I can't remember what it's called, but sung by the Marshmallow Man or Marshmallow and the China Princess. What has happened at this point is the China Princess has gotten broken, and he's left to look after her while they go off to do whatever it is, get to the Emerald City and sort stuff out. And he glues her back together using his sticky, sweaty stuff from under his arm and gooey marshmallow, and glues her back together. And while he's doing that, he's singing How He Loved Her Then. And it's a lovely song. And then she wakes up because he's put her back together and she joins in. Now, it wasn't a successful movie. They were planning sequels, but the sequels never happened because it didn't make back its original budget and its cost. And it should have been a good film. You've got Lea Michele as Dorothy, Dan Aykroyd as the Scarecrow, Kelsey Grammer as the Tin Man, Jim Belushi as the Cowardly Lion, Bernadette Peters as Glinda, Martin Short is the Jester. You've also got Patrick Stewart, and also the China Princess is played by Megan Hilty. With a cast like that, it should have been a major success. However, the story is a little bit syrupy. And although it carries on in a way from The Wizard of Oz, the continuation is not that good. The continuity, because it's more modern, like the sleazy guy turns up in a modern car. Whereas in the original Oz, you didn't see any cars at all. They used bicycles and they were wearing Victorian dresses or Edwardian dresses. So that was a bit clunky. The animation is quite clumsy as well. It's still a nice movie. It's certainly not going to hurt you to watch it. It's all right. It's not the best movie. And that's the thing with Oz movies. They tend not to succeed. They never have. Wicked and The Wizard of Oz is an exception. Now, The Wizard of Oz didn't make its money back in its first run, but it wasn't necessarily meant to because it was a children's film. But it made it back over the years. It was what they termed in those days a prestige film. It didn't need to make money back. It was about showing what the studio could do technically and musically. But every other version has failed. some of them are spectacular, like Oz the Great and Powerful, Return to Oz, sadly, which is now a cult classic. None of them have really succeeded. It's like they're cursed in a way. They're not. Obviously, Wicked is a huge success because it has the musical, which is wonderful. Can't wait to watch that. Look out for a review. That'll be coming soon. But yeah, so Legends of Oz, it's a very sweet film, but, you know, you don't have to go out your way to see it. If it's on the TV, put it on and just relax and enjoy some Oz stuff. Yeah.